see, I am filming in a different location of my room. I'm currently sitting at my desk. That's why you could see my TV and my bed and my bookshelf down there. So yeah, if you like this spot, let me know. I'm just sitting at my desk in my spinny chair. Today's video, I just kind of want to talk about two books that I'm currently reading right now. I'm not sure when I'm going to finish these, hopefully before April is over. So kind of just want to jump in and talk about the two books. They're vastly different. One is fiction, one is nonfiction. So I will start with the fiction one first. And that is The Hate U Give. I don't have the dust jacket on right now, but as you can see, I am reading this and I am over halfway through. I literally have maybe 100 pages left. Wow. Okay, I'm listening to this on audiobook, and can I just say, the narrator just commits so well to every single character. She commits 100% to like Maverick's voice and King's voice and Chris's voice and just like all of the male characters. She just 100% puts her full effort in, and like I appreciate that so much because it really does like bring the story to life, and I enjoy it so much. But besides like the narration, the audiobook, which is just fantastic, the story is just incredible. Like I got to chapter 2 and I was just surprised by how quickly things were popping off. Like they were going crazy within like the first 30 pages. I really could not handle it. But if you do not know what this book is about, follows a 16-year-old girl named Star Carter who lives in Garden Heights, and she attends a rich white private school. So she kind of has to split herself into two different stars, one that can be completely herself when she's at home and around her family and her neighborhood friends, and one that kind of has to suppress the true her when she's at school. There is a silver lining because she does have two really great friends and a boyfriend that is like madly in love with her, but none of them understand what it is like to be her. And this story kind of picks up where Star is meeting her childhood friend for the first time in a while named Khalil, and one night they leave from a party and they get pulled over by the cops, and Khalil ends up murdered by a white police officer, and he was unarmed. And this story kind of follows the aftermath of that shooting, as well as Star going through, one, an identity crisis, two, the grief and loss of her first crush and her best friend, and also what it's like to be the witness to something so shocking and horrible so young. And this book is just extremely polarizing. It deserves all the hype that it had received when it first came out. So this was inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement, and it has been a staple in YA fiction, YA contemporary, and it is just so good. When I finish this book, I'm going to give like more detailed thoughts because I'm like not done with it yet, but everything that I've read I've just loved so far. I love Star's, I'm not gonna hold this up because you can't even see nothing, but I love Star's relationship with her family. It feels extremely authentic and genuine. You can tell just through her interactions and the way she speaks about her family in the past tense. She just loves them so much, and they have been there for her through thick and thin, and she really does have such a close bond with her parents, and it really does contrast like the neighborhood that she does live in, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch blossom. And watching Star go through this identity crisis of not knowing like which one she is, which kind of Star she wants to be, is just so heartbreaking and so sad to watch, because she is an incredible young woman, and I just hope the best comes out from this novel for her. I know Concrete Rose, which I'll put a picture of it right here. Concrete Rose just came out, I think this year or the end of 2020. I am not sure, but I know it follows Maverick Carter, who is Star's father, and it follows his upbringing. If you read The Hate U Give, this is not a spoiler, but if you read The Hate U Give, you know that Star's father was part of a gang, and he was able to leave that gang and start a family, but we never really knew what happened. So we find out what happens in Concrete Rose. So I am ready to finish this so I could read that. And I have On the Come Up as well. I also have it as an audiobook on Scribd, so I will probably be reading that soon after I finish The Hate U Give, because I can already predict that I'm loving it so far. I think it's really well done, incredibly well written, so I am just very excited to finish that. The second book I'm reading is completely different, but If you follow me on Goodreads, you may know that I finished 2 nonfiction books recently. One is called The Short Bus by Jonathan Mooney. It is about a man who has dyslexia, and he travels on a short bus around the country, meeting different people and learning about their disability experiences. The other book I just finished reading was Disabled Upon Arrival, which I read for school. It was I had to pick from a list of 4 books that I had to read throughout the semester, and this was the one I picked because everybody was picking the same one, so I wanted to be different, and I picked this, and it was fantastic. It basically talks about immigration, eugenics, and the intersectionality of race, gender, disability. It talks about how Ellis Island has kind of been a baseline and a foundation of ableism rhetoric and eugenics rhetoric, and how immigration in the United States has never really been about immigration and allowing people who want the best for themselves and their families to come to the country, but it's always been about kind of breeding the pure race of Americans that some people want for this country. And it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. If you know anything about Ellis Island, I recommend you read this because I learned about Ellis Island in elementary school and we didn't even scratch the surface, and this book just literally blows everything that I thought about Ellis Island completely out of the water. It is crazy and I loved it. It was so good. This is an academic piece. It is fact-checked, it is well-researched and sourced, and I definitely recommend reading it if you can get through academic books and textbooks and stuff like that. Even though this isn't a textbook, it's just very difficult to read. The writing is very blunt, very, purposeful. It's obviously written to not persuade, but to put forth an argument, so just keep that in mind. It's incredible. I definitely recommend you reading it. And I picked up this book because I read those nonfiction books and I really loved it. And I'm currently reading Disability Visibility, first-person stories from the 21st century, edited by Alice Wong. This book basically is an anthology, and it contains, I think, over 30 stories, all written by a person with a disability, and each piece kind of tackles a different topic, a different life moment that was significant to the author of that piece. We have speeches, essays, articles, eulogies, poems, short stories. We have everything, and it covers a wide range of topics, from disability and the clothing movement, and how those who are disabled and those with a disability find it difficult to find clothes that are aesthetically pleasing, and the idea and the stereotype that people who are disabled or have a disability can't dress the way that they want and don't have accessible fashion. It goes from a topic like that to asexuality, and assuming that if you have a disability, you can't be a sexual being. You are asexual, you aren't sexually attracted to people, and that is not true. And we know that because of the intersectionality of race, disability, and queerness, and how they all form together and work together. Oh my god, I'm loving this so much. I have pink tabs in it just for things that I've highlighted that I found really interesting. The blue tabs are for the individual story and the individual entry by an author that I've really enjoyed. So I'll flip to one right now. Okay, so the one I'm flipped open to is called The Erasure of Indigenous People in Chronic Illness. This one basically is written by a woman who is an Indigenous person, and she basically argues and proves that there has been a large erasure of Indigenous representation in chronic illness, and how it is very hard to find articles and studies about Indigenous people with chronic illnesses and why it is so hard for them to receive treatment. That one's definitely incredible. So I am pretty much over halfway through with this. I've been reading a little bit at a time because it is an anthology, but I'm just loving everything about this so far. I really love how it addresses each topic. I love how well put together it is and how broken up it is into different parts. It's incredibly interesting. And if you did not know this, I am a special education major with a focus in early childhood education. So I'm really interested in learning about what disability means, not for myself, but for those who have a disability, and how I, as a able-bodied future teacher, can go into the classroom and help my students who have a disability. And this is just amazing. If you are interested in learning more about disability, I would suggest this is a book you start with. It gives you a real nice groundwork, and you are able to read stories from the perspectives of those who have a disability. I really believe that you can't really know much about disability without reading from the perspective of somebody who has one, written by somebody who has one. And it is just so good. And it really does break down the barriers and the stereotypes and assumptions that I believe all of us have had about disability at one point. And it's just so good. It really makes you think. It really makes you question yourself and your beliefs. And it is just so good. So I highly recommend reading this. Even though I'm not done, I still highly recommend reading this because I'm loving this. There's not a story in here that I did not adore. So I'm just so excited to finish this book and The Hate U Give. So I kind of just wanted to come on and talk about them because they're both very different, but they're making me feel very different things. And I am just loving them so far. So I kind of just wanted to share those with you guys just to see if you were interested. I'm not sure if I will like make this a video or if I will just tack it on to a wrap up, but if I do make it a video, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all of the support that you guys have given me through starting this little YouTube channel. I'm not really expecting much to happen from it, but the fact that people watch it, people comment, people like it, and I see that every single day, every week, and as time goes on, I'm just really happy and excited. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I will see you guys next week because the semester will be ending soon. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I love you all. Mwah. Bye.